My name is Ray Ellen Sievert, and I am an eclectic astrologer. I use all modes and mix them together, and it comes out, I guess, the right way. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Neptune tonight. But before we get to Neptune, because we're in, as we all know, we're in a very, very, very special time period. And astrologically, I just discovered recently, earlier this year, and it's been around. There's three modes of astrology. I mean, kind of like talking about the energies of the time. One is Western astrology, one is Vedic astrology, and one is true sky astrology. And I know I reviewed this before, but it's really important for what we have to discuss tonight. And Western astrology has been around. It was kind of like formulated about 200 AD, and they formulated it around the equinoxes and the solstice. So Aries was the beginning, and Pisces was Aries was the beginning. That's spring. Cancer is summer. Capricorn is winter, and Libra is fall. So that's how it was formulated, and they formulated this circle that looks like this, kind of looks like this. That's an astrological chart, into 12 parts, 12 equal parts. So each of the signs have 30 degrees each. Now, Vedic astrology is a little bit different. It goes by the precession of the equinoxes, and gradually over time, all the planets shifted backwards. So it's about 23 degrees off of the Western astrology chart. Most Eastern people over in India and the Eastern cultures and everything like that work with Vedic astrology, and they say that it is probably the most accurate. But I found out something that may be even more accurate. And that's also divided into 30 degrees in each sign. Now, true sky astrology is a little bit different. And the true sky astrology is not equal distance between each sign. Like Aries is about 21 degrees and Virgo is about 50 degrees. So whatever sign you think you are, you're probably either one sign back or one side ahead. I think probably one sign back, because everything is shifted, but it goes by the actual constellations in the sky. So it's true sky Vedic astrology. It's like when you look up at the sky, the planets are in a particular constellation, and that's what it's all about. So that said, which one is the right one? And I have come to the conclusion they all are. Western astrology, we have been conditioned with that for the past almost 2,000 years. And Vedic astrology has been around just about that same amount of time. Western astrology has to do with our conditioned behavior. It's just like we're conditioned to know that I'm a Cancer, and you're Crystal, you're an Aries, and Sherry, you're a Capricorn, and Joe, you're a Sagittarius. Okay, so anyway, that is conditioned behavior. So we have that overlay. It's a program that is in our biosuit.
Okay.
I feel like Vedic astrology, which is 23 degrees back, has to do with our soul impulses. And true sky astrology has to do with what our authentic purpose is, our essence of what we are doing. So you have to blend them all together. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. When I first discovered this, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to give up my Western astrology. But no, they're blended together. So that said, when I talk about these planets today, I'm going to integrate where the planets are in Western astrology and where they are in true sky astrology right now, and how that is influencing us as a whole, as a collective. recently we talked, I think earlier this year, we talked about Pluto going into Capricorn in true sky astrology. Now, in Western astrology, Pluto is the planet of transformation. It has to do with all the structures. It has to do with our governments. It has to do with our medical system, our educational system, our environmental system, our nutritional system. It has to do with all of that. So when it goes in a particular sign, it has a flavor. So it went into Capricorn in Western astrology in 2008. So what happened? It's a planet of transformation. So when it goes through, Pluto takes about anywhere from 20 years to 12 years to go through a sign. And it just recently, in Western astrology, it just went into Aquarius. But I know I'm going to bring it back to so will you understand it. So what happened in 2008? It was the beginning of all the breakdown of all the so-called structures that we are used to. The financial structure, like went down in 2008, 2009, all of that. But since 2008 until this year, you can see everything is just is falling apart. So therefore, Pluto going into Capricorn in true sky astrology is we are going to draw people in who are going to fix the broken problems. We are going to draw those people in. So Uranus went into, it was in Aries until 2018. It went into Taurus, and it's still in Taurus now. So that's since 2018, we have been going through lots of changes with what we really value, what is important to us, what we want to manifest, how we want to manifest it, what is our self-worth, all of that. Now we're going to talk about Neptune. Neptune in Western astrology is the very, very, very last degree of Pisces. There's 30 degrees in the sign. It's the 29th degree. So that means that it's an ending, but as it traverses into Aries, it will be a different energy. So Neptune entered Pisces in 2011, 2012. And believe it or not, it was the year of the water dragon. Now, year of dragons are always very, very highly charged spiritual type years. They're and to what was happening in 2012. It was supposedly, some people thought it was the end of the world, but it was the end of the Mayan calendar. And it really denoted the end of the world as we know it, because things have really, really changed and amped up since 2012. They've been amping up over time, but since 2011, 12. But Neptune is a planet that dissolves. Let's see, I have all these down here. It rules the collective, okay, but it rules intuition, the subconscious, the innermost self, isolation, the hermit, spirituality, the mystic, magic, dream space. Now that's where we're going to go with Neptune now at the 29th degree, because we can follow our intuition, or we can go and we need to follow our intuition at all costs. We have the ability right now to wake up from the dream that we have been in. Now, Neptune has been in Pisces many times. It takes 165 years to go around the sun. So the last time it was in Pisces was in the late 1800s. And that was the time that all the spiritualists came in. Blavatsky, Babaji, Karl Marx, all of them were born during that time period. They brought in an ideology. I can't say it, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so that said, right now we're waking up from the dream. This year and next year are so, so, so important to get in touch with where we have deceived ourselves, our blind spots. Christina talked on Thursday chats, and she talked about the vitamin world, you know, and how you think you're taking vitamins to feed your body really good stuff. But she's finding out that, you know, some of these vitamins have synthetic particles in it that causes certain things to react in our body that are not to our highest, highest potential. So this right now, as we speak, Neptune being at the 29th degree, we are going to witness a time of where the deceptions are. Hopefully we'll perceive them, or how they will be revealed. They have to be brought forth. So last Monday, when I was supposed to speak, Neptune went retrograde, and as we know about Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is what it's in an apparent backward motion of a planet. So when the outer planets go retrograde, they go retrograde about 5 months. So from now until December, we have the opportunity to go inside of ourselves and discover what our greatest deceptions are. And we must develop where our perceptions are. We need to follow our heart. It's really, really, really important. Our intuition. Neptune is deception and confusion, but it's also intuition. It's compassion. It's illusions. So all of these words are key words to work that we must be aware of. And Neptune going retrograde at 29 degrees basically is giving us more depth and insight to what the confusion and deception is in our life, what our blind spots are. Now, it's interesting. In Vedic astrology, Neptune entered Pisces in 2023. Now, we were just waking up to what deceptions were happening in the world at that time. I mean, my gosh, the La Cucaracha came in, and oh my gosh, that was an actual choice point of us to make a decision of whether we're going to follow the establishment or whether we're going to follow our heart. And I think many of us here decided to follow our heart. But anyway, it really was the beginning of Vedic astrology for our soul to wake up to what we have been going through for the past 12 years, since 2011, because we've been slowly waking up. Since 2012, a lot of things have been dissolving around us. In true sky astrology, Neptune entered Pisces in 2021, February of 2021. And I think that was the point where people were really, really, really questioning what was happening, because we were told to believe a certain way, but our hearts were telling us something different. Mm-hmm. So since 2011, 2012, we're waking up to our blind spots. We're waking up to our deception, but we're also waking up to our innermost intuitive self. There's just been a great movement of people really waking up everywhere. And that's what Neptune's doing. And it does this on a collective level. The last Thursday chat, the chat before when I was going to speak last week, not last Thursday, but the Thursday before, Christina talked about putting your dream together. And oftentimes it's not going to manifest the way we think it's going to manifest. Now, I'll give you an example of that. I'll take my own life. Oftentimes we want to have everything perfect, but we live life, and life is messy. Life is just full of, swerving this way and that way, and sometimes it goes, it'll be really calm, and other times it's all jagged, it's all over the place. But all of us here are way showers, and we all have had an intention within ourselves to do something within this world that we want to make it a better place. Okay? So, back in 1970, way back when, I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. And in my imagination, which is Neptune, I wanted to attract and be taught by all the greatest teachers in the world. If I had $1 million, that's where I would spend my money. I would invest traveling the world and meeting teachers that knew all about life and philosophy. And I didn't want to do the traditional way, although I felt like a failure because I wasn't. But my greatest wish was to have the greatest teachers teach me the meaning of life. That's my, like my moth to flame, to know God, to know what it is and all that. So that said, over the course of my life, little by little, I've traveled the world. I've been to all the many, many, many sacred places. I've been to Machu Picchu, Egypt, Italy. I've been to Glastonbury. I've been all over these places, India. I've been all over. So in my lifetime, gradually, it didn't manifest the way I said it was going to, but my dream from my heart was to have all these things happen to me. So when Christina says you put your intention out there and let it come to you, not the way you think it should be, because that's capturing it. It's the way I think you probably have already planned how it's going to manifest. It's just like you think you have to know, but we don't. I just Babaji's teacher was Sri Yuktabar. And for some reason, I open up books to get insight and to give me answers to things. And the very last sentence in the book said, life is unsafe and unstable. It's like a dewdrop on a lotus leaf. Only through our divine personage can we find the way. I think that's really important. We all have this illusion that life is safe. We want life to be stable, but it just isn't. It's life. It's experience. And that's what all of this is about. So the higher level of Neptune. Now, Neptune rules Pisces, but it's the ruler of Pisces. But On an esoteric level and a hierarchical level, it rules Cancer. Cancer is about foundation. It's about when Neptune is in Cancer is manifestation of our connection to our cosmic foundation. It's our light body blueprint. It's the DNA to our cosmic lineage and inheritance. And it's a gateway to our essential nature. Now, the new moon was on Friday. No, was it Thursday, Friday? The 5th. I think I had it, whatever. Anyway, it was last week. Was it Friday? Yeah. Because it was late in the afternoon and I wanted to start my cleanse after the new moon, because if you start it before, it doesn't usually work out. If you want to start something new, you start with the new moon. So I had to make sure I had to start it on Saturday. But anyway, the new moon was conjunct the fixed star Sirius, Sirian energy. And what is Sirian energy? It's our cosmic blueprint. It's a blueprint of what we are. So that said, we have an opportunity in this window of time with Neptune being in Pisces and the new moon for this month, really tapping into how we want to manifest our blueprint, our light body blueprint. So we're in that very special time of the year. I mean, it happens every year in Cancer. And even though in Vedic astrology, it's in, it says it's in Gemini, the fixed stars shift back as well. So with Cancer's foundation and with Vedic astrology and true sky astrology, is being able to communicate what our authentic essence is. So anyway, we are in a cycle of completion and new beginnings. So the outer planets, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune are affecting the collective, but we're all doing the work to shake up our old thought forms of what we value in our life. In fact, next week, Mars is going to conjunct Uranus. And so it's a good time in the next 2 weeks to figure out our value system and what doesn't work anymore. And if we don't kind of like contemplate what that might be, it might happen for us, because when Mars and Uranus shake it up, we don't know how that's going to manifest. So that's going to happen next week. And then I was on a beat and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes, I know. As a collective for the next 15 years, 15 years seems like a lot of time, but we are in the process of tearing down and building up. And that's why Uranus is in Taurus right now. It's shaking up things. Everything that we thought was important to us, by the end of this cycle, will not be that way anymore. We're going into Neptune, going into Pisces in Vedic astrology and true sky astrology. So for the next, again, 15, 20 years, we are going to be dissolving all our ideology. I can't say that word, ideologies. I guess that's the word. We are going to discover our truth in a whole new level. And the only way we can get through that deception is to really go in, meditate, do the essentials like we do in Light Body, and go within our heart essence. That's really, really important. We're reclaiming our forgotten essential nature. We have to embrace our intuitive insights. If you get a niggle that's you want to do something, even if it's a silly thing, like you're at a gas station and you say, I got to go in and get, what do you get in the gas station? I don't know, something to eat. I don't know, whatever, or go in and pay your bill, or most people pay at the pump. But if you get that intuition, go in there. Who in the heck knows? You might meet an old friend. Intuition is so, so, so important. We have the potential right now in the next 20 years to manifest what we really want in our lives. That means discarding everything that does not feed us in any way or give us foundation. It's what helps give us a joy for living. It's a time to remember and rebuild our symbiotic relationship with each of the kingdoms. The Telluric realm, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the human, our star elders, and our interplanetary kingdoms. It's time to really, really work in a way where we can connect with that. And Laurel she is a great teacher for helping guide us to those places. And we're supposed to remember our authentic and essential truth through love and compassion. So Neptune in Pisces from 2011 to 2026, that's when it finally goes into Aries, is a dress rehearsal of creating our dream to our authentic nature. Right now, as Neptune enters true sky astrology, we are actually ready to manifest our cosmic inheritance. We are dream weavers. The last 12 years has been the dress rehearsal, a foreshadowing of our divinity and our ability to follow our intuition and manifest our truth. We've been witnessing control mechanisms in our heart. We feel something is off. If you feel something's off, believe it. I mean, some of us are better than others. We've been taught to doubt what we really feel. Our intuition is now stepping up. We sense the synthetic matrix and we can now embrace our organic nature. That means that we're going back and we're peeling off those programs little by little, so that we can be creating this humanity that is going to inherit this planet in the future. And we're all the way showers. I mean, not everybody's on the same page as all of us. And, even talking to my husband, I think he was saying that, no, it wasn't my husband. It was somebody else. Who was it? I was over my daughter's house and there was a friend over there and he was saying that again, I forgot I'm losing my mind here. That's Neptune. You know what? Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute. But he was saying, that's what he was saying. There are so many people that love to go to eat Wonder Bread and go to Walmart and watch TV and drink beer and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that doesn't say we can't do any of that stuff. But when you have that mentality, it's like what makes you happy. And it's always that empty hole that you're trying to fill in. That's also Neptune. It's like if we have, it's about addiction. So it's our addiction to all of that. And that hole is never, never, ever, ever filled unless we get to, when we have our, if you have a great time, you don't need anything else. It's all you have. It fills you with joy and all of that. But anyway, I said to him, and I'm sure a lot of you know about the 100th monkey, that all of us way showers are doing the work because we came in here with a plan. Whether we know that plan or not, just our presence is making a difference in the world. So just our presence, the more of us, which is happening every single day, it's waking up. We're waking up from this dream that we thought was real, and we're finding out that it's not that at all. We want to create something more to feed us, to nurture us, to fill us. The 100th monkey. I don't know who came up with the concept. I don't know when it was formulated, but there was a group of islands. I think they were out in the Pacific or someplace in the ocean. And the fruit would fall off the trees. And one of the monkeys decided it didn't want, and it would fall into the sand because it was right on the island and everything like that. So this monkey picked up the fruit and went to the ocean and washed it off. And within time, that monkey taught other monkeys started following suit. They didn't want sand on their fruit, so they started washing their fruit in the water. And when it became critical mass, all the monkeys on all the surrounding islands, not knowing what was happening on the one island, started washing their fruit in the water before they ate it. So that said, the more we wake up, the more we get in touch with our blind spots, the more we deprogram and reprogram ourselves to our authenticity, the more other people will do it. All of a sudden, it will just be automatic. It will happen all over the planet. That critical mass. And that's what humanity's doing right now. We have a presence. We have a radiance. We came here to do that. Mm-hmm. We have origins from off the planet. Some of us are all human. I don't know. I mean, but we've been developed over time. And from what I understand, many, 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 many years ago, we had this highly developed intuitive qualities, but now it's always a spiral. It's the in-breath and the out-breath. We rise to the highest part, and then all of a sudden everything falls, and then we build it up again. But each time we build it up again, it's spiraling to a higher level. So bottom line, I had a hard time putting this together, but I knew I wanted to bring Neptune forth because it's so important for us to get in touch with our blind spots and really understand the ultimate deception that's happening in the world right now. And we are able to, we have eyes to actually beam through that because we're doing this work on ourselves. Every time we reclaim another part of ourselves, we're waking up more and more and more to what's happening around us. So what you could tolerate years ago, you can't tolerate anymore. And The thing about that, though, is you're not making everybody else wrong and you right. That's another part of the whole thing. You're just becoming that essence within yourself. And you don't have to tell anybody who they are, what they are, right or wrong, because that would just be your opinion. It's all about your radiance. And that's what we're doing. Through Neptune, we're dissolving all of this parts of ourselves that are no longer needed. It's like a wearing away, like the stones that are jagged, and then all of a sudden the waves start making them smooth and really soft and everything like that. So when I was putting this together, I knew that Neptune doesn't really like to talk. It was hard to put words to all this because Neptune's qualities, its expertise is a feeling nature. It's intuition. It's perceptions. It's sensing, dreaming, putting artistic endeavors together. It's music of the spheres. It's meditation. Having alone time to contemplate. Connecting to the unseen. Trusting our inner voice. And developing compassion. So each of us have Neptune in our charts. And I'm going to kind of go over. My Neptune is in Libra. I'm of the older crowd, and my delusion can be relationships. In fact, it's staying in harmony with each other. So Neptune and Libra, and that was probably from 1942 to 1957. Neptune was in that. But it helped us balance within ourselves so that we could bring forth sympathy and kindness. Those born from 1955 to 1970 had Neptune in Scorpio. With Neptune in Scorpio, there was an increased emotional intensity, but in a strong and powerful way. If Neptune is well aspected and personalized, talents and ambition will. I think that Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So the people born during that time period, if you think about that time period, it goes back to the year of the wood dragon. We talked about that before. Everybody started waking up. Like the music was absolutely fabulous back in the 60s. But then people started transforming the way relationships. I mean, I don't think very many people got divorced when I was a child. I think I remember 5th grade, Kenny Waters was in my class, and the teacher came in and said Kenny had to leave. And apparently they said his parents were divorcing. And this was like in 1958. And oh my God, he was crying. I mean, divorce was a big thing back then. But then in the 60s and 70s, people realized that they were doing things for the wrong reason, and they started transforming things. There was the sexual revolution. It was women throwing off their bras. It was women's. It was all about transformation. That was Neptune. It was dissolving all of that. Neptune was in Sagittarius from 1970 to 1984. And these are the people, it's Sagittarius all about truth, but it's also being attached to your belief system. The evangelist, you know. And I think that this is a generation that is going to really truly not put up with anything unless it's the truth. So Neptune was in Capricorn in 1984 to 1998. This is all Western astrology, by the way. And I really feel that these are going to be the designers of our new reality. They're in their 30s now, and they're going to do the architectural system and the agricultural system. They're going to be the designers of new structures. They're going to question education and all of that. These are the people that are going to take action on that.